Welcome to Peak Mind. I'm your host, Michael Trainer, and I'm here in Iceland at the Glacier Lagoon. I'm sitting in a Go camper van, looking out the window at one of the most beautiful sights you can imagine, an incredible glacier and these large icebergs sitting in the water. And yesterday I saw one calve, and they have a place here called Diamond Beach where as you walk on the black stone beach, these incredible icebergs that have been basically nothing but pure water and buried, as I was told yesterday, oftentimes under 60 feet or 20 meters of snow for the last 1,000 years. And this snow, when released, is so dense it looks like a crystal. I did an ice cave exploration yesterday, and my guide chipped a piece of ice off and showed me how it refracted and produced a rainbow in the lights. And I was offered a piece of this ice to drink, and it showed me how profound water is, how important water is, and how different clean water tastes. I actually got down on my hands and knees and drank from a stream, and it's hard to describe the virtue of water. It's something obviously we all need. It's the thing we need probably, arguably the most, and yet we take it for granted. And that's what this trip has been. This trip has been a reminder of the gift in what we take for granted. I would say water is one of the things that I've realized how valuable it is. And yesterday, as I went into this ice cave, I felt like I was truly in a cathedral, in an extraordinarily sacred space, a natural cave formed in one of the world's largest earthborn glaciers. It would have been hidden. You wouldn't have seen it naturally unless you knew where to go. And I took this super Jeep, basically, to the mouth of this incredible glacier. And then we walked in. And the information that I received in this cave was profound. It was a message of cleansing, of a message of the divine feminine, because to me water is the embodiment of the divine feminine. And without judgment, it was a message to clean myself, a message to cleanse myself of that which no longer serves me, and to stand in my power, not in the way that I think we often associate power in this sort of bravado sense, but more in the knowingness. I did a workshop here, which is the reason for my coming to Iceland, on the power of relationship. And the feedback I got was extraordinary. And as I was delivering this workshop on the side of a mountain, I basically, connected these people in a way where I felt truly on purpose. And the feedback validated that feeling of being on purpose. And for those of you listening, some folks don't necessarily know what their purpose is. And I think oftentimes we get distracted by trying to jump to where we think it should be, as opposed to taking the next right step. As Boyd Vardy said in the episode I shot with him around lion tracking, he said, when you're tracking a lion, you don't go to where you think it is. You find the next track. And from that first track, you find the next track. And you basically continue with these micro steps of finding your track. And for me, these workshops are a reinforcement of the fact that I am on track. And what I felt yesterday, to bring it full circle into this cave, was a knowingness of who I am, a sense of who I am meant to be, who I'm meant to grow into, and a call to release the aspects of me that are still boyish, that are still unindividuated, if you will. And there was a moment where I literally got emotional, and I called back a deep old trauma. And it was beautiful because in that space, it felt like I was in a birthing canal. It was this blue cave, deep under a glacier, with a running river. And I had a moment of being present to a childhood trauma. And what was beautiful is the waters, like a comforting mother, enabled me to release that trauma, to cut the cords that had been holding me back. And at the same time, there was a moment where touching the water and the profound amount of information that came through my fingertips in this cold and pristine water, this place of this cathedral of ice, was also a call to let go, a call to stand in the knowingness of who I am. And I don't know if you listening have ever had such an experience, but what I'm hoping to do in sharing this story is to say, find the places that call you, whether that be a physical place, like for me, a place in nature, a cathedral of the wild, if you will, or a place inside, whether that be through meditation perhaps, or your most resonant music. Whatever it is, find your cathedral, that inner or outer expression of the medicine that is your unique song, that medicine that is wanting to move through you. It's my belief that when we quiet ourselves enough, that's when we finally allow for the muse to move through us, for that great message of the Creator, that great inspiration to use us as a vessel in a way that only we are put on this earth to be. And it is my belief that we all have a unique song, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And so the question is, where can you find and express that aspect of your unique song? For me, I found a reckoning in an ice cave in southern Iceland. I had not planned to go to an ice cave. I was in the listening. A friend of mine literally offered me to go 40 minutes before going. I had resistance because it was not an inexpensive endeavor. But something in me just knew that I'd rather go and experience it, and if it's not ideal, rather than sit and regret not going. They often say we regret what we don't do way more than what we do. And to go, to listen to the call, and to have that reaffirmed with just total synchronicity, and to feel the cleansing that I felt, to be in the moment of that awe, that expression that can only come to me, at least in these incredible wild places. That was priceless. And I'll share more about this journey over time, but to witness, for example, for the first time in my life, the aurora borealis, to watch the dancing of the cold and the hot winds together as they form these magical colors. It just reminded me again of the spirit that permeates these lands and permeates our lives. And if we're open to it, we can be a stand to receive that spirit and to be a conduit for its expression. And so for me, what this has been is an awakening back to my essence, my essential nature, and a call to release those aspects of myself that are not congruent with the part of life that wants to express itself through me. So I'm taking this time just to share a quick reflection from the road. I am again in awe as I look out at these blue icebergs, and the sun has just come out, and I am looking at this incredible sacred planet that we have as two seals lift their heads above these waters. And I'm reminded of the innocence of a child. And to me, that's something that is so beautiful and pristine and worth protecting. And a friend of mine gave me 2 stones yesterday that were meant to invoke my inner child. And I had an experience and a recollection of that inner child in this cave. And I feel the purity in this ice and in this snow of this sacred space. And I think to myself how we often neglect or see past that which is so special here. And for me, this is a call to you and a call to myself to remember the sacred places, to remember the pure places, the safe places. And for me, that's what this place has been. It's been a safe place to remember. And from that place of remembering, to realign to a frequency that is more an expression of my own purity. And to remind myself that even those who have sought to taint my signal or taint my frequency, that is an indelible sound. That no one can diminish your song. No one can dilute your frequency. They can ask you to turn it down and you can acquiesce, but they cannot alter the purity of your song. It is your gift to the world. So, my friends, please go out and find the places that remind you of your pure and unique song. And if you have a chance, I recommend doing so in nature. She is a great teacher. Sending you lots of love from Iceland. Until next time.